Good afternoon and welcome to today's edition of NWCR's Removing the Liberal Blindfold for this, the 26th day of June in the year of our Lord 2021. Hollow-minded Hollywood is back at it again. Chauvin, who was convicted of the so-called murder of a criminal, got 22 and a half years for Floyd's death. And Hollywood has erupted with F you, Chauvin. From Breitbart comes this one. Hollywood celebrities erupt after Derek Chauvin's sentencing. F you, Derek. 22 and a half years is not long enough. Hollywood celebrities sounded off on Friday following former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin being sentenced to 22 and a half years in prison for the murder of George Floyd. And so the hysteria by people who live a lie starts. Quote, 22 and a half years is not long enough, unquote, lamented left-wing activist and actress Alyssa Milano. Quote, fuck you, Derek, said Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy and Dune star David Bautista. Quote, Derek Chauvin is a murderer who watched multiple people plead for the life of the man he killed in broad daylight, a murderer who placed the full weight of his body on another human being's neck and felt the life drain out of him, unquote, tweeted Selma director Ava DuVernay. Derek Chauvin is a murderer. Understand Chauvin's mom for not wanting her son to be gone, but George Floyd's mom will never see her son again, unquote. Singer Cher reacted to Chauvin's mother. Carolyn Palenti's comments ahead of sentencing, quote, Chauvin's lawyer said, if only he hadn't gone to work that day, answered that call. I say if only he hadn't put his weight on George's neck for 9 minutes. He had 9 minutes to stop, unquote. And another one. What is the punishment for taking a life? So with good behavior, he's out in 8 years. My heart remains with George Floyd and his family. I pray for your peace and healing. And that was, unquote. And that was from Suicide Squad and First Lady star who said that one. So, is she for the criminal? Actress Ellen Barkin also reacted to Chauvin's mother's comments, claiming Palenti, quote, expressed no remorse, unquote, alongside the hashtag, quote, like mother, like son, unquote. Hellboy star Ron Perlman said, see ya, Derek, have fun with all the motherfuckers you put away, unquote. Actress Sandra Bernhard reacted by claiming the former police officer should have been sentenced to 40 years instead. Quote, should have been 40 years, hashtag George Floyd, he is without remorse, a stone-cold murderer, end of discussion, hashtag Derek Chauvin is devoid of emotion, unquote. Not nearly long enough, said Natasha Rothwell, a Saturday Night Live writer and actor on HBO's Insecure. Now we'll remove the liberal blindfold. Folks, we must keep in mind here one thing. Not one of those people who had to cuss up a storm and support a criminal live a life that has anything to do with reality. They live their lives pretending to be someone else, and then they unfortunately get paid to do that. So they think they know everything and can tell the rest of us just what they think, and we should be thankful for their opinions. No. From Jeremiah 50, verse 6. My people hath been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from the mountain to the hill. They have forgotten their resting place, unquote. The shepherds of today are the politicians, and of course, shall we never forget, Hollywood, neither of which know anything about the reality of what is really going on. Today's story of the Hollywood nitwits who think that we should be with them when it comes to the conviction of Derek Chauvin, I will not go that far. Hollywood's so-called celebrities have no concept of what reality really is. They live their lives pretending to be others, a lot of them to pretend to be heroes, You know, the kind of people who in real life they go against for getting rid of the villains. The imbeciles of Hollywood want you to believe that Chauvin got a sentence of not caring enough when it came to death of a known criminal who was resisting arrest. Now I know this may come as a surprise to you liberals out there and also to you in Hollywood, but George Floyd was a criminal and he was resisting arrest. If he wasn't a criminal, my slow-moving friends, and he didn't resist arrest, if it wouldn't have been for the drugs in his system, he would be alive today, period. Alyssa Milano, for one thing, is a liberal coot. She wouldn't know the truth if it introduced itself to her and gave her its name. And Dave Bautista, whose Twitter handle is "Poor Kid Who Chased His Dreams," just couldn't keep a civil tongue in his mouth as he had to gleefully tell Chauvin to F off, and was totally unnecessary if you know reality. He apparently doesn't, like all in Hollywood. And then there is the director who directed Selma, Ava DuVernay. She, in her tweet, called Chauvin a murderer not once, not twice, but 4 times in the short space that Twitter gives you to say anything. Of course, Twitter won't delete that for being hate speech, and no, because it has nothing to do with the truth, unless, of course, this person was a conservative. Then it will probably be deleted. And of course, we can't leave out Cher, who wouldn't even know where her brain was, even if she was told where it was. First talked of Chauvin's mom like the former singer knows what she is talking about. Plus, she talks of George Floyd like he was a saint. Cher, get it straight, woman. George Floyd is and was a criminal, and his mom knew it. That used to mean something. Apparently anymore, it means you are on the side of the law to lowlifes like you. And then the lady who starred in the movies like Suicide Squad and First Lady, who is also a person who has no connection to reality, started out with a question on what is the punishment for taking a life? What should be the punishment for resisting arrest, you twit? Like I said before, if George Floyd hadn't resisted arrest, he might have been alive today. But we also have to remember, if he wasn't alive today, it would have been because of the lethal dose of fentanyl that he had in his system. Period. How could Chauvin be convicted of a murder for a man who was already dead because of the drugs in his system? Come on, people. Look at the facts, not just the knee on the neck, which, by the way, is a legal way to hold down a man resisting arrest. God, how stupid some people are, and then others just magically forget the facts and push the murder on the man who was doing nothing but doing his job. And then he got 22.5 years for doing it. No wonder cops are leaving the police forces in droves. It's safer for them to do that. They might be able to go home to their families if they're not cops anymore. Thank you again for listening to us here at NWCR, where we strive hard to find the truth hidden by the lamestream lying liberal media, and as I will always say, we will not be ruled. We are heard through Conservative Nation Media, or CNM, from behind the silver microphone of freedom with the voice of reason in this increasingly unreasonable world, where America always wins. Please subscribe to my Rumble account under the name of NWCR's Removing the Liberal Blindfold, and also my BitChute account with the same name, and now my Brightian account, which is the new replacement of YouTube that does allow things that tell the truth with the name Removing the Liberal Blindfold. Subscribe because I am being shadow banned on Facebook and YouTube. We still have our Black by Color Only with Vincent Brown later today, and tomorrow will be American by Design with our very own Uncle Bing Fisher. And on Monday, on my new day, will be my show NWCR Radio. Stay tuned, use your common sense, and God bless you all.